Hi, my name's Kelly, and I wanted to share with the world everything that we chose to do for a sixth grade curriculum this year. We are a homeschool family that has been doing homeschool for, this will be our third year. We actually did the public school system thing for quite a few years, and in fourth grade, we kind of just realized this is not gonna fit or work for the way our kid learned and also just the dynamics of public school. And it's actually been really good for us. I wouldn't say everything is like 100% better. We're always working on something, and I would definitely say that our now sixth grader was behind in kind of what the standard is. Once you start homeschooling long enough, you start realizing standards are subjective and you realize that you kind of go off of like, is your kid progressing? Are they learning? Is good things happening in your homeschool? And is your child healthy and happy and just becoming a well-rounded person? And that's more of our priority. And so as much as we love the academics, we're just kind of trying to cover all of it. And I wanted to share what we are doing for sixth grade curriculum this year. And not all of it is on track maybe for where sixth grade is at, but again, progression, and that's what we're looking for, that progress that's happening. So for history, the first thing I'm going to share is the story of the world. It is an awesome way to do history. Like, we loved it last year when we did the first volume, volume 1, and so we're moving on. We didn't fully finish volume 1, but you end up kind of rotating, so if you stick with it, it comes back around, which is cool. And we're really excited for this. What's cool is it is just basically a book that you'll read a chapter, and then your student or students, I know a lot of people teach multiple grades at the same time with, like, we have a first grader and a sixth grader, so it helps to kind of combine history and science together. And so there is a workbook, and it's really simple. Like, you just go to the chapter that you just read, and then it gives you prompts of asking questions and trying to get your child to kind of like talk about what they learned. And it's a good way to understand like if they actually got it. There's usually map work, so like depending on the chapter, I usually just rip it out and then I make a copy, and both my kids can color in the map, and based on where we're talking about, there's also usually like a fun coloring page, just kind of locks in the info. But it makes it super easy. So you just read a chapter, pre-pull out these, and go through that. And then actually this year I ordered like the whole kit, and I hadn't had this last year, or maybe it wasn't offered, but this is actually the test and answer key. I'm not sure how we're going to implement that yet. I will probably have my sixth grader maybe take the test, which should be interesting. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then the next thing that I was going to share, I was so excited. I went to a homeschool convention where we live, and I found this functional nutrition, and I think it just came out, and so it is by Wild Root Learning, and a friend showed it to me. She was like, did you see the nutrition guide? And I'm like, what? So it is a full nutrition curriculum. It is amazing. Like, I've already looked through like a lot of it, and I'm like, this is gonna be the best. Even like this says part 3, blood sugar regulation. So they're gonna learn a lot about just how the body works, digestion. Here it like talks about all the dietary fibers and sodium and what it does for your body. And I just think that we've lost that a little in the world where we're like, we just eat garbage and no one cares. But we care. And so we're trying to, teach them that young so that they're not confused when they're like, what do you mean I'm supposed to read a label? And then it's really cool too. It comes with a student workbook. So my sixth grader will do this, and then my first grader will still listen and participate in a lot of the things. But I kind of bought him some coloring things to do like while we're working on a little bit more difficult things for him, so that way he can like still be a part of it and learn as we go. And then because I'm doing a first and sixth grade, I did purchase the Beautiful Feet books. It's the Seasons of Field, and it is the most gorgeous set of books I've ever seen, and it makes me so happy. I'm actually most excited about this in our curriculum this year. And so it goes along with the seasons in the school year, and it's same kind of thing as the story of the world, where we are actually planning to do 2 days of history and 2 days of science. And we'll just do kind of back and forth. Like Monday, Wednesday is science and Tuesday, Thursday is history. And so I'm not sure how I'm going to switch these up, if I'm going to do like 1 and 1, or maybe they really love one or the other and I can do 3 and 2 or something like that. But it's really cool. So like this will be the beginning of the school year as we're heading into autumn. And so everything that they learn through the school is kind of, for the school year, will actually link up to like the season changing. And it just has a lot of cool ways to get outside. So the big thing too is like you read a story. And so like say it prompts you like read 1 chapter out of whichever book in whatever season you're in. And these are all so beautiful. I'm so excited. But then there's like the part that you go outside and do field work. And I think that's awesome because this year we're trying to get outside more. My kids love video games and I don't want them to only enjoy that after school. So I feel like if we take off and we can get outside, it'll be awesome. Last year we did start cursive, and when I first started homeschooling, I was like, we don't have to learn cursive. This is silly. Handwriting is a struggle. We have 2 boys, so I think what's going on, and I have watchers over here. Thanks, guys. And I think what's going on is just that the cursive, when I researched it, it just helps with like if you're having the struggle of keeping the letters in a line. We looked into like dysographia, things like that. We haven't actually like been, tested for it, but I think that the cursive helps a lot and we've seen a big improvement. And so we started this last year and it's not fully done and he's about halfway through. So we'll just grab another one once he's done with it, but we plan to just kind of keep going with the same book that we had last year. And then for language arts, we actually asked him what he wanted to do. We've tried The Good and the Beautiful. We've tried quite a few different language arts. And the one we settled on after going to convention last year and actually hearing the speaker talk about the curriculum that he created is Structure and Style with IEW. So it's really awesome because it's a little more hands-off for me. And there's a video portion and then a writing portion. And it makes it so easy because that way he can just watch the video and then do what the video prompts. It's a really easy, basic way to go where you're like not having to teach something every single day. And so they watch the video twice a week. And then the rest of the week is they're finishing up their little essays that they prompted all the details for, and then they turn it in. I'm not gonna lie, we didn't do a great job last year with this because we switched midway and I must have got busy and I just didn't fully sink myself into it where I was like, okay, this is what he needs to do. So they actually, when you purchase the kit, there was a teacher training. I didn't do it. I kind of just like pulled it together and was like, okay, like we can do this. But this year I'm gonna spend some time and just make sure I fully get it. We just repurchased because we didn't finish it this last year because we switched midway, and I just repurchased the binder and all the inserts so that we can just start back over. I talked to her at the convention and I was like, we struggled a little bit, but he really likes it. And so she was like, just start over. And so we're gonna start over. And I think that'll actually help. It'll reinforce their whole like thing is creating a keyword outline off of your source text. So you had an essay, you create a keyword outline for it, and then you go back and rewrite it, adding in all your like ly adverbs and just things to like dress it up. And he teaches you all that as you go. So the writing just gets better and better and better, and it breaks it down so that it's really easy and not overwhelming. Creative writing will have to come later. This is just the process that is working for us right now, and we're really excited about it. And then the last thing, which I absolutely love, we've done that since we started our homeschool journey, is Nicole, the math lady. And so what you do is she, again, like this is kind of nice because I've outsourced the hardest things like the math and the language arts. And so with math, we're using Nicole, the math lady, which is an online program that you can purchase for the year. It's not expensive. It's totally worth it. And your student, depending on, I think there's 2 now. She was doing only Saxon math, which I think is just like a tried and true homeschool math curriculum. But she teaches each lesson. So say you're doing like 4 days a week. We just have him watch the video. It prompts him to do the work, and then that's pretty much it. It's done, and it's all graded online, but you still have to have just the workbook. And sometimes I have him like work it out because I want to see what's going on, but it's been pretty awesome. And so we really love it. This is actually the solutions manual, so be careful, you have to hide this. Luckily, I don't know if Our son figured that out right away. I was like, I have the solutions right here. And I kept leaving it on the desk. And then I'd come back and I'm like, oh, good. He didn't realize it was there. But this is the main textbook that you go through each lesson. And so you just click, you know, what lesson you're on that day. And it'll have your child do exactly kind of what the book does. Let me see if I can show. So it's basically a warm-up. And so your kid can do the warm-up on there. And it's all on the program. So you can do the warm-up with her, with Nicole the math lady on the program. And then the new concept she will teach in a video. And then they go through and just do lesson practice. And it's a review of like all the things they've been learning at the end. So like the lesson practice, they'll practice exactly what they learned. And then they'll go into a mixed practice. And I have my son just do the odds. And so he knew the odds had less. And so he was like, I want to just do the odds. And I was like, okay, I'm all right with that. So, but I do feel like he's really learning it and it's pretty cool. Along the way, there is these different things like investigations is what they call them. That's all prompted on there as well through Nicole the math lady. So it just makes it super easy for teaching math. And then what's nice too is you can select on the back end, like how many times they can miss a problem before it prompts them, like it'll just like exit out and then you have to come in and work with them on that specific one. But they always have it listed like where you can go back and watch the original lesson on that problem if they're just not able to get it. So that's been really good for us. So basically language arts and math are being like online pieces, but then it's still in, you know, they're still working on something so I can see it and follow along with them, but I'm not necessarily having to teach it. And then the history and science, we're just going to kind of sprinkle in, do more like a loop schedule with that. I have been homeschooling a while. I don't think I even understand what a loop schedule is still. Like, I'm always like, I get it. And then I'll watch a video of it and I'm like, okay, I don't get it. I'm not doing it right. Someday I'll figure it out. But I feel like I'm doing my own loop. We're doing language arts and math 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. And then we'll do 2 days of history and 2 days of science. That way it leaves Friday open to do whatever we want and hang out with friends or go do whatever part of our nature study that we weren't able to get in throughout, or the field work is what it's called in here, throughout the week. So, and this usually only takes us a few hours. Kids are literally gaming in the background. And then something I was going to talk about that we like absolutely love is our Yoto players. So I do have my 6th grader read 20 minutes each day, maybe sometimes. And then he loves listening. And that was a big thing for the IEW. They're talking about kids. There's a lot of studies done, I guess, for like their certain ones that just like are not maybe huge readers, but they love listening to stories. So my son loves stories. And so we've gotten him like all the Harry Potter Yoto cards, and we just kind of keep them all linked up like this. We ordered some more for this year, and it just seems to be a good way to just get that much more literature in there. So that is it for 6th grade year. We're also doing a little bit of like he's taking a debate class and just different things in like local co-op groups that we're doing. But that's pretty much it. And we're hoping that this year is the best year yet. And I do feel like I'm getting a little grip on it, which is good. And probably the most excited we've been to start this year. And that's kind of why I started this video processing, because I want to get more involved, where I'm just like, okay, this is what we're doing. It helped keep me on track a little bit more. And then that way, all of us homeschooling parents or people that are interested in homeschooling can kind of feed off of each other and just have a good time doing it. And so I hope that this was helpful, and then just message me if you have any questions about any of the curriculum, and then I'll be sharing my 1st graders curriculum here soon.